Good evening, Jessica Van Vonderen with ABC News. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has flatly rejected suggestions by Labor that his government ran down the clock in Parliament last week to avoid a vote on a Disability Royal Commission. Mr Morrison says he expects the motion to pass the lower house on Monday, and opposition leader Bill Shorten is demanding he act immediately to establish an inquiry. From Canberra, political reporter Matthew Doran.
20-year-old Danny Dixon's experiences of abuse stem not from an institution, but a mainstream school.
There was a couple of incidents where he got punched in the stomach and called the word retard. There was even an instance where I got sexually harassed.
The budding young filmmaker knows he's not alone.
You just want to see the people who thought they could abuse people with disability held responsible for what they've done.
Oh, they're just so tall now.
Oh, yeah.
It's Danny's story and others who've experienced abuse in the disability sector fueling Labor's demands for a Royal Commission.
This is the time. Everything else has been tried and failed.
A motion by Green Senator Jordan Steele-John calling on the government to establish an inquiry passed the Senate on Thursday. Its supporters wanted it dealt with in the lower house before the day was out. Instead, MPs were treated to an unusually long question time, more than 2 hours, as the chamber waited for the paperwork to arrive from the other side of the building.
He ran down the clock because he was more worried about appearing that he didn't control the Parliament than doing the right thing.
We were prepared to allow that motion to go through on Thursday afternoon.
Although not all government MPs saw it that simply.
We weren't going to be railroaded by the Senate into making a snap decision.
The Prime Minister expects the motion to succeed on Monday and will consider how the government responds after that.
If you know that the neglect and the violence is likely to be recurring, what is the argument against a Royal Commission?
At no time have I ever said that I didn't think there wasn't a need for a Royal Commission in the disability sector.
The government would much rather the political focus be back on what it sees as its main attack against a resurgent Labor Party, the issue of border protection. The coalition's maintaining its hard line when warning of the risks associated with Labor supporting the medical transfer legislation, with former Liberal MP, now Christmas Island Administrator Natasha Griggs, meeting with contractors preparing to reopen its detention centre.
They can confuse that you can only have strong borders by treating people in our care cruelly. I don't buy that argument.
Now, I can't describe to you the fury that is within me that I have to now go spend money on opening a centre that I didn't need to open a week ago.
An anger likely to grow as it's played out in front of the cameras every day until the election. Matthew Doran, ABC News, Canberra.